Hanju ki jai, Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashwatarashata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shri Gurudev ki jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashwatarashata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashwatarashata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashwatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashwatarashata Shishimar. Sorry. Did I do Param Gurudev Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashwatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Bhagyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashwatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki jai. Nityal Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Shila Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Pravishta Shila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura ki jai. Nityal Pravishta Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupa Nugogoriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath. Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Shara Gosai Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaura-pariṣada-caritāvali ki jai. Namachay Shila Hairas Ṭhākura ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय. सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जय. श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय. श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय. श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय. श्री भक्ति देवी की जय. श्री पूर्णमासी योग माय की जय. श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय. श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. And for those of you who are in the West, I think it's still, right? It's still Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, Vishnu Priya Devi, Raghunandana Thakur, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur. Oh, did I say Vishnu Priya Devi? Yeah, I did. And then Srila Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur, Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharati Goswami Maharaj, Bhakti something Parvat Maharaj, and Vasant Panchami, Saraswati Puja. So, yeah. So, all those days, Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All right, so sorry everybody, I'm so late. I was washing clothes and I got a bit too into it. I washed all these winter clothes and yeah, anyways, excuses. I'm going to continue reading from this book, Sri Caitanya and His Associates. We've been, now this is going to be our fourth reading? Yeah, I think our fourth reading. We read about Vishnu Priya Devi, then we read about Pundarik Vidyanidhi, and then last night we read about Raghunath Das Goswami, and who else did we read about? Anyways, now we're going to read about Raghunandana Thakur and Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur. I didn't get around to scanning Raghunandana Thakur, so you're just going to have to watch me read it. You can't really read along. I did scan Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur though. All right. So Dandavat Pranams, Gargaraj Ji, Raseshwari Mataji, Indira Mataji, Rup Manjari Didi, Nitai, Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji. You said that you read on Advaita Charya Prajumna Prabhu. Cool. Vishnu Priya Devi is Adi Saraswati. I can't. I don't know the answer to that. She's Pushakti, whatever Pushakti is. Right? Yeah, Pushakti. Pretty sure. Okay. So reading this Gaura-pariṣada-caritāvali by Srila Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Vyuhastritya pradyumna priya narma sako bhavat chakre lila sahayam yo radha madhavayor vraje Shri Caitanya dvaita tanu sa eva Raghunandana. The third member of the Chaturvyuha, Pradyumna, took part in Radha Madhav's Leela in Vraj as Krishna's intimate friend, or Priya Narmasaka. He has now appeared as Raghunandan, whose body is not different from that of Sri Caitanya. Gaura Ganodeshtipika, verse 70. Raghunandan's father, Mukunda Das. So he's Prajumna. Okay, Raghunandan's father, Mukunda Das. Raghunandan was born into a family of physicians in the Shaka year 1432, which is 1511 AD. His father's name was Mukunda Das. His mother's name is unknown. Mukunda Das was Narahari Sarkar's older brother. In the 15th chapter of the Madhya Lila of Caitanya Charitamrita, it is clearly said that Mukunda Das was a physician to the king. And then Caitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 15:120 says, externally he appears to be engaged in government service as a physician to the king, but in his inner life he is filled with divine love. Who can know the extent of his love? Haribol, Madhavi Didi, and Pavatarani Mataji. Once, when Mukunda was engaged in treating the king, he saw a peacock feather and fainted. This incident is also described in the Caitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 15:121. On the Burdwan Katwa rail line, Shripat Shrikanda station comes first, and then the Shrikanda. Mukunda Das's home is about 1 mile from the Shrikanda station. Raghunandan Ṭhākura took birth on the Vasant Panchami day. His uncle Narahari took a great deal of interest in raising Raghunandan, for whom he had much affection. I've been to Shrikanda a few times, maybe like 5 or 6 times. It's really, really cool place. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu indicated that one's seniority depends on the depth of devotion by telling Mukunda Das's son to be really his father. The 3 most important devotees from Sri Khanda were Mukunda Das, Raghunandan, and Narahari. Mahaprabhu asked Mukunda Das, are you, and this is from Caitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 15:112 to 117. Are you Raghunandan's father? Are you Raghunandan's father and he your son? Or is he your father and you his son? Tell me so that I can put my doubts to rest. Mukunda answered, Raghunandan is my father, and I am his son, rest assured. Whatever devotion we have comes from him. Therefore, I see him as my father. When he heard Mukunda Das's answer, Mahaprabhu was thrilled and said, he from whom we imbibe devotion should always be considered our senior. Raghunandan and the Gopinath Deity. Mahaprabhu gave Raghunandan the service of deity worship. He constantly engaged in the service of Sri Krishna. He had no other intentions. That's the same chapter from Caitanya Charitamrita, verse 131. Remember, this is all from Madhya Lila, chapter 15. From his early childhood, Raghunandan Ṭhākura would feed the family Gopinath deity ladus. Uddhav Das has written a song in which this lila is described. There's a really beautiful Suman Bhattacharya. He sings this song written by Uddhav Das, and a really beautiful melody. I can try to find it on YouTube maybe. But Mukunda Das lived in the village of Sri Khanda with his household deity Gopinath. One day he had to go somewhere for work, and he called Raghunandan to do the service. He said, In this house we worship Krishna. So I want you to be sure to give something. I want you to be sure to give him something to eat. And then Mukunda Das left. Raghunandan did as his father had ordered and made the offering to the deity. Raghunandan was just a child, and in his simplicity, he said to Gopinath, Eat, eat. Krishna is controlled by love, and so he did as the child told him and ate everything on the plate without leaving a grain of rice. When Mukunda Das returned, he asked the boy to bring him the prasad. He asked the boy to bring him the prasad from the offering he had made. The child answered, "Father, he ate everything and left no remnants." Mukunda was so astonished at his child's wondrous words that he asked him to make another offering. This time, after he left the house, he returned and hid to watch what his son did. Raghunandan joyfully placed the laddu in Krishna's hand and said in a commanding voice, "Eat, eat." When Krishna had eaten half of the laddu, Mukunda Das came in the doorway. Mukunda saw that Krishna did not take another bite and that the half-eaten laddu remained in his hand. This caused him to be filled with love. He embraced his child, and tears of joy rained from his eyes. He spoke to him in a broken voice. To this day, fortunate people come to Sri Khanda to see the half-eaten laddu in Gopinath's hand. Raghunandan is not different from Cupid himself, says Uddhav Das with great feeling. All the Mahantas felt fascinated to see the Gopinath deity who Raghunandan had fed laddus. That's from Bhakti Ratnakar 9.525. 525. Yeah, so if anybody ever comes here to Navadvip, there's Sri Khanda is not way too far in a taxi. Yeah, it's easy to go. Other miraculous events. Narahari Sarkar Thakur gave honey to Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu from a pond right next to his home. This pond became known as Madhu Pushkarini. The legend is told that a kadamba tree which grew right next to this pond always had two flowers blooming regardless of the season by Raghunandan's miraculous powers. According to the Gaudiya Vaishnava Abhidan, another miraculous event took place in Raghunandan's life. One day, Abhiram Thakur came to Sri Khanda and paid his obeisances to Raghunandan. Then he embraced him and melted with feelings of prem. Raghunandan started to dance and sing kirtan, and while doing so, one of his ankle bells slipped from his foot and went flying off, landing 4 miles away in Akaihat, near his disciple Krishnadasa's home. 4 miles. Sorry. That's also another place you can go to, Akaihat. It's also Lochan Das Thakur's Bhajan Kutir or Samadhi, and I think also Grantha Samadhi is there, I think. But yeah, definitely Lochan Das Thakur's something or other is there in Akaihat. Later, in order to commemorate the event, a tank was excavated in that village and given the name Nupur Kund. Yeah, you can go to Kund also. Mahaprabhu, the father of Sankirtan, gave his adopted son Raghunandan Thakur the authority to offer the garland on the day before the Sankirtan Yajna, the Adivas day, and to make the final offering at the yajna's end. Raghunandan Thakur accompanied the Bengali devotees to Puri every year during the Chaturmasya. He would dance with his uncle Narahari at the Rathayatra festival in a group formed by the residents of Sri Khanda. He participated in the Keturi festival organized by Narottam Das Thakur, at Gadadhar Das's festival in Katwa, and at the commemorative festival for Narahari Sarkar Thakur in Sri Khanda. Some people said, anyone who is dear to Raghunandan, this is from Bhakti Ratnakar 9660. Anyone who is dear to Raghunandan will win Mahaprabhu's mercy for life after life. Others said, Raghunandan is so merciful that he gives life to the humblest and fallen. Some said, what humility! There is no one who is his equal. And others, he is as beautiful as Cupid himself. That's all from Bhakti Ratnakar. Sri Raghunandan Thakur had great affection for Srinivasacharya. Prior to his disappearance, he consoled Srinivasacharya that despite the difficult times, he would be able to spread Vaishnavism in the future. A difficult time is coming in which people will succumb to various doubts. Narahari Prabhu wrote in his Sri Krishna Bhajanamrita. I don't know the meter for this, but I'm just gonna. Anyways, Krishna Chaitanya Chandrena Nityanandena Samhrite Avatare Kalavasmin Vaishnava Sarva Evahi Vavishyanti Sadodvigna Kale Kale Dine Dine Prayas Sandigdha Hridaya Uttametara Madhyama. That's verses 3 and 4 of Narahari Sarkar's Shri Krishna Bhajanamrita. It means, once our Lord Krishna Chaitanya and his companion Nityananda Prabhu have completed their pastimes in the material world, the Vaishnavas in this age of Kali will become more anxious with every passing day. Whether very advanced, somewhat advanced, or neophyte, their hearts will nearly always be filled with doubt. Yikes. But don't let this worry you. Lord Gauranga will accomplish many great works through you. I bless you that you remain long on this earth, and that you and your followers protect our Lord's religion. Those who are opposed to devotion to Krishna will become devotees by your influence, and they will take shelter of you. That's from Bhakti Ratnakar 13, 174 to 179. Raghunandana Thakur bequeathed the service of his Gaur Gopal deity to his son Kanai Thakur, and then left this world on the 4th day of the waxing moon, Shukla Chaturthi, in the month of Shravan. Kanai Thakur gave a feast as part of his father's last rites. And this is from Bhakti Ratnakar, same chapter, chapter 13, verses 183 to 184. Raghunandan slowly became hidden to mortal eyes while repeating the names of Sri Krishna Chaitanya again and again. How glorious is that day of Shravan Shukla Chaturthi! Will anyone not sing the glories of Raghunandan Thakur? You want to see the Gaur Gopal deity of Raghunandan Thakur? It's really sweet. It's like a midget deity. His head is like half the size of his body. Or like 1/3 the size of his body, I mean. Let me share the screen. We can take a look at a picture. Shri Khanda, Shri Khanda Gaur Gopal. Let's see if that brings it up. Okay, there's a picture, but that's not so clear. There's another picture. Let's see. And he's like dancing. Here, that's a nice picture. Let me open this up big. Open image, a new tab. There. No, I have my blocker on. Anyways, you can just see it like this. My website blocker so that I don't waste time. See, isn't that so sweet? Gaur Gopal. You want to see another picture? Let's see. There he is. Let's see. There's another picture. All right. Isn't that such a sweet Ṭhākura? Okay, let's continue. All right, where are we? Oh, we finished. Okay, so we're done with Raghunandan Thakur. Now let's read about Śrīla Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur. Let's see, I think it's... Okay, this I did scan from this book, so you can read along with me. Śrīla Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur. Viśvasya nataruposo bhakti vartama pradarshanat Bhakta Chakre Varti Tattvat Cakravartyakhaya Bhavat. That's supposed to be a R, not a T. Because he revealed the path of devotion, he is considered to be identical with the Lord of the universe, Viśvanātha. And because he was prominent in the circle of Vaishnavas, he held the title Cakravartī. Viśvanātha's birth and disciplic succession. Viśvanātha took birth in a family of Radiya Brahmins in the village of Devagram. In the Nadia district in about 1560 of the Shaka era, which is 1639 AD, some other he took birth in 1639 AD. Some others suggest 1655. So 1639 or 1655 as his year of birth. The Gaudiya Vaishnava Abhidan identifies his father as Ram Narayan Cakravartī. His mother's name is unknown. He had two older brothers, Ramabhadra and Raghunath. His spiritual master was Radharaman Cakravartī, a disciple of Krishna Charan Cakravartī. Krishna Charan Cakravartī was a disciple and, according to some, adopted son of Ganga Narayan Cakravartī. Viśvanātha Cakravartī has summarized his Guru Parampara at the beginning of the Ras Panchadhyaya section of his Sarartha Darshini commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam. Shri Rama Krishna Ganga Charanan Natva Gurun Uru Premna Śrīla Narottama Nata Shri Gauranga Prabhum Nomi. In this verse, Radharaman Cakravartī's name is abbreviated as Ram, Krishna Charan's name as Krishna, and Ganga Narayan's name as Ganga. The word Nath refers to the guru of Narottam Ṭhākura, Lokanath Gosvāmī, whose guru was Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Okay. Thus, the entire disciplic succession of Viśvanātha Cakravartī Thakur has been given in this one single verse. Viśvanāth's studies and writings. After completing his studies of grammar in Devagram, one second, I'm just seeing, is my screen sharing? Okay, it was. After completing his studies of grammar in Devagram, Viśvanātha Cakravartī Thakur went to Syedabad in the Murshidabad district to study devotional scriptures from his guru. According to the Gaudiya Vaishnava Abhidan, he was married. Although he was married according to the rites, he never showed the slightest attachment for family life. It is said that before home, he taught his wife the Bhagavat, giving her a taste for its nectar, and instructed her to devote herself to the worship of the Lord. Srila Viśvanātha Cakravartī Thakur followed the example of the Goswāmīs and went to live in Vrindavan, where he could dedicate himself to the devotional life. As a result of his commitment to following the orders of his spiritual master, he received many blessings from him. These blessings took shape in his good fortune to be able to live in various dham and write a great number of books on Gaudiya Vaishnava subjects, which are considered to be the great treasure by those in the Sampradaya. All his books and his commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavat are written in a Sanskrit which is clear and simple, but at the same time full of the nectar of devotion. In the Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math edition of the Bhagavad Gita, some remarks have been made about Viśvanātha Cakravartī Thakur under the heading, A Description of the Commentary. Those comments have been reproduced here. Cakravartī Thakur has an important place in Gaudiya Vaishnava history as the guardian and chief teacher of the period between the life of Mahaprabhu and his associates. Between the life of Mahaprabhu and his associates and the modern period. Amongst Vaishnavas of our day, a saying has been preserved about three of his works. Kirana Bindukana e Tinniye Vaishnava Pana. Viśvanātha Cakravartī Pad's resumes of Rupa Goswami's Ujjvala Nilamani, that's Ujjvala Nilamani Kiran, Rasamrita Sindhu, which is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu, and Laghu Bhagavatamrita, which is Bhagavatamrita Kana, are the source of transcendental joy for the Vaishnavas. Studying them makes one a Vaishnav. And I think Viśvanātha Cakravartī Thakur wrote books when he was a teenager or like in his early 20s. He wrote them when he was very young. Maybe we'll find that somewhere. I don't know. After the disappearance of Mahaprabhu's Vrindavan associates, Srinivasacharya, Narottam Thakur, and Shyamananda Prabhu preserved the pure devotional stream and expanded the movement in Bengal. Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur is the fourth descendant of the disciplic line from Narottam Thakur. Few acharyas of the Vaishnava school have produced such works in Sanskrit such as he. Besides producing a large corpus of books, Cakravartī Thakur also made other major contributions related to preaching and kirtan. Rupa Kaviraj, who is excommunicated from Vaishnava society, was the founder of an Uppa Sampradaya, Ati Bari, which taught that only renunciates were eligible to act as acharya, and that all are disqualified. He preached a distorted doctrine of Raghunandana Bhakti by completely negating the value of Vidhimarg and by minimizing the importance of hearing and chanting. It's all about smaran, you'd say. To the benefit of the general public, Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur has argued against this doctrine in the Sarartha Darshini commentary on the third canto of the Bhagavat. Rupa Kaviraj holds that no householder can take the Gosvāmī title. Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur counters this proposition by stating, on the basis of scripture, that any member of a dynasty of gurus who has the proper qualifications is entitled to be called a Gosvāmī. That is, he can do the work of a guru or acharya. However, to call one's unworthy children Gosvāmī simply for the purpose of accumulating wealth and disciples is opposed to the scriptural conclusions and is to be considered, even if the children are born in a family with a tradition of acting gurus. Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur wrote Bengali songs under the pen name of Hari Ballabha Das. Oh, there's a really cool book called the Kshananda Gita Chintamani. Anyways, some people say that this name was given to him when he took the dress of a renunciate. In all respects, Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur is worthy of superlatives, whether in his scholarship, his expertise in philosophical conclusions, his knowledge of the Vaishnava scriptures, or his poetic talent. It is said of Viśvanātha Chakravartī Pad that at the place where he wrote the Bhagavat, even if it rains, the water would not wet the leaves on which he wrote. Thus, the ink did not run, and the text remained intact. The following is a list of the books written by Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur. 1. Vrajariti Chintamani. 2. Chamatkar Chandrika. 3. Prem Samputam. 4. Gitavali. 5. Subodhini Commentary to Alankar Kostuba. 6. Ananda Chandrika Commentary on Ujjvala Nilamani. 7. A commentary on Gopal Tapani Upanishad. 8. Shri Krishna Bhavanamrita Mahakavyam. Shri Bhagavatamrita Kana. 10. Ujjvala Nilamani Kiran Lesh. 11. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu. 12. Raghavartma Chandrika. 13. Aishwarya Kadambini, which appears to have been lost. Madhurya Kadambini. 15. Bhakti Sar Pradarshini, a commentary on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. 16. A commentary on the Dan Keli Komudi. 17. A commentary on the Madhav. 18. An incomplete commentary on Chaitanya Charitamrita. 19. A commentary on the Brahma Samhita. 20. Sarartha Varshini, a commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. And 21. Sarartha Darshini, a commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam. He also wrote a number of small works which have been brought together in the collection known as Stavamrita Lahari. And that has 1. Guru Tattvashtakam. I guess that's what Guru Vashtakam was originally called. It's called Guru Tattvashtakam, not Guru Vashtakam. 2. Mantra Datri Guru Ashtakam. 3. Param Guru Ashtakam. 4. Paratpar Guru Ashtakam. 5. Param Paratpar Guru Ashtakam. 6. Shri Lokanathashtakam. 7. Shri Narottamashtakam. 8. Shri Shachinandanashtakam. 9. Shri Swarup Charitam. 10. Swapna Vilasamritam. That's at the end of, what book is that? Ujjalanila Manikiran. 11. Shri Gopala Devashtakam. 12. Shri Madan Mohanashtakam. 13. Shri Govindashtakam. 14. Shri Gopinathashtakam. 15. Shri Gokulanandashtakam. 16. Swayam Bhagavadashtakam. 17. Shri Radhakundashtakam. 18. Why did I say 11? Jagan Mohanashtakam. 19. Anuragavali. 20. The Devi Ashtakam. 21. Shri Vrindavanashtakam. 22. Shri Radhika Dhyanamritam. 23. Shri Rupa Chintamani. 24. Shri Nandishwar. 5. Shri Govardhanashtakam. 26. Shri Sankalpa Kalpadruma. 27. Shri Nikunja Virudavali. 20. Surata Katamritam. And 29. Shri Shamakundashtakam. Okay. Viśvanātha Dev. When everything's running okay. Looks like it. Okay. When Viśvanātha Chakravartī Ṭhākura was old and hampered in his ability to travel, acharyas of the Ramanuja Sampradaya in the Gulta village of Jaipur attempted to convert the king of Jaipur to their school by accusing that the Gaudiyas did not have a tie to any one of the four Vaishnava disciplic sessions. They advised the king of Jaipur to take initiation from someone in the Ramanuja line. The king was confused by their arguments and asked that Viśvanātha Chakravartī Ṭhākura, who was the most prominent acharya of the Gaudiya school at that time, to come to Jaipur and answer the questions posed by the Ramanuja group. Due to his advanced age, Viśvanātha Chakravartī Ṭhākura was unable to go, but in his stead, he sent his student of Bhagavat, Baladev Vijayabhushan, to defend the lion. Oh, Sundar Gopal shared with me some really cool things about this. Do you want to hear about this time? I think, I don't know, maybe I'd have to get his permission. No, I think he can hear. Anyways, maybe afterwards I can share with you what Sundar Gopal sent me. Krishna Dev, a disciple of Viśvanātha Chakravartī Ṭhākura, accompanied Baladev Vijayabhushan. One of the arguments of the Ramanujis was that the Gaudiya school had no commentary of its own on the Vedanta, and hence could not be accepted as an authentic lineage. Baladev Vijayabhushan Prabhu asked the accusers for some time, 7 days according to some, 3 months according to others, to a Gaudiya commentary on Vedanta. He was given the time, and then he went to the Govinda temple and prayed to his guru and to the Lord to give him the power to write such a commentary. Govindaji's garlands fell from around his neck, and the pujaris placed it on Baladev Vijayabhushan Prabhu's chest. There's Baladev Vijayabhushan. With the Guru's, Vaishnav's, and Lord's blessings, even the impossible becomes possible. Baladev Vijayabhushan Prabhu undertook the writing of comments on the 500 sutras of the Brahma Sutra, with the subtle aspects of the divine aspects revealed in the pure devotional line of Gaudiya Vaishnava thought, completing it in the limited time given him. When he went to Gulta, the scholars of the other sampradayas were astonished to hear his commentary, which has the highest divine sentiment. Because Govindaji himself had ordered its writing, the commentary became known as the Govinda Bhashya. It was after completing this commentary that Baladev received the Vidya Bhushan title. Viśvanātha Chakravartī Ṭhākura established the service of Gokulananda that still stands in the Gokulananda Ji temple in Vrindavan. He left this world in Radhakund in around 1630 of the Shaka era. That's 1709 AD. The Tithi was either the Shukla or Krishna Panchami of the month of Magh. I wonder, okay, so 1709 AD, and he appeared, let's see, he appeared in 1709 AD, and, no, sorry, he disappeared in 1709 AD. Oops, I went too far. Sorry, give me 1 second. What's 1,709 minus 1,000? No, sorry. What's 1,709 minus 616? No, I'm getting nervous because of it. Okay. What's 1,709 minus 1,639?
It's 70.
Okay, so he was, obviously. Sorry. So he left this world when he was 70. Or if you go by this time, which some others suggest, then he was something. Right? I'm terrible at math. Anyways, 50 something. Interesting. So he wasn't on this world for very long. I mean, yeah. All right. So, what time is it? It's 8:19. Okay, there is still some time left. Let's read about Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharati Goswami Maharaj. Shall we? vcvani.com. Okay. Srimad Bhakti Vivek Bharati Goswami Maharaj. Okay. Let's see if I can put this in reading view. I'm going to turn off dark reader. Okay. Now. No. Okay, we can't see it in reading view because I didn't add this to my blocker. So we'll just have to read it like this. No, why did I close that? History. Okay. January 26th, 2023 is a disappearance day of Srimad Bhakti Vivek Bharati Goswami Maharaj, a dear disciple of Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Ṭhākura. The following is a Bhav Anuvad of the Katha given by Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj on his disappearance tithi on February 2nd, 2014 and February 1st, 2017. Let's read it here. I'm going to use a different browser. Okay. Now we can try reader's view here. Today is the disappearance day of my Shiksha Guru, Tridandi Swami Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharati Goswami Maharaj, a jewel-like disciple of Srila Prabhupada, who is especially empowered by Mahaprabhu. Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharati Goswami Maharaj, a good preacher with a wonderful character. Before joining the Math permanently, he was working at the Secretariat, and he would spend his holidays at the Math on Ulta Road. He stayed on the first floor. During one such visit, he was returning to his room when he heard Srila Prabhupada ask about him. I don't see him anymore, but I recall how he used to hear Katha very carefully. Then I heard someone reply, "He has left to get married." Srila Prabhupada asked, "Nobody could make him stay back?" Then Mahārāja, who was climbing the stairs, appeared in front of Srila Prabhupada and said, "I have returned." Srila Prabhupada asked, "You came back?" To which he affirmed, "Yes, I have come back." After this incident, he never left the Math, nor did he get married. Here's a picture of Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharati Goswami Maharaj. All right. Once, even though it was raining outside in the rain, when Srila Prabhupada observed this, feeling he had the appropriate qualification to accept sannyas, he told him it would be good for him to take sannyas. He had a very tall figure. When he performed Nagar Sankirtan, he would attract many people. Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharati Goswami Maharaj had a broad face, and he did very nice kirtan. Being absorbed in Kirtan, he would lift his hands up. He preached extensively. His katha was always very sweet. Once, while preaching in Dhaka, several people opposed him, as there was a strong Sahaja influence there. Nobody was prepared to even rent out a building for the Gaudiya Math. Nevertheless, Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharati Goswami Maharaj spoke katha in Dhaka for a month, and many attended his programs. He resolved to own Dhaka for the Gaudiya Math from the municipality there. Land could not be easily obtained with the help of a letter from the commissioner granting permission. Lands could not be easily obtained with the help of a letter from the commissioner granting permission, however, because of the prevailing opposition to the Gaudiya Math. No Hindu was willing to give their recommendation. In the end, a Muslim commissioner recommended him, and hence a large math was established in Dhaka. Oh, just the other day, day before yesterday, somebody called me from Dhaka, from that math. Asking about the Gaudiya Kirtan app. I've been getting a lot of these kinds of calls lately. But okay, Mahārāja numbers in the Gaudiya Kirtan app, so now I get all these calls because it stopped working for a while. Mahārāja carried out so much preaching there. Once there was an exhibition in which the story of Chota Haridas was depicted. There is also a picture depicting people collecting money from pilgrims in exchange for darshan of the deity in a temple. These types of people were also depicted using shaligrams to break. These types of people were also depicted using shaligrams to break groundnuts for eating. Whereas this exhibition was largely opposed in Kolkata, the people of Dhaka very much appreciated it. Srila Bharati Maharaj made another math in Swargadwar by the name of Gaudiya Asan. He later handed the math over to Srila Bhakti Shrirup Siddhanti Goswami Maharaj, whose sevaks are taking care of it now. He also handed over his Kolkata math to Srila Shrirup Siddhanti Maharaj. I didn't know about a Kolkata math. Yeah, the one in Puri is being maintained by Muni Maharaj, really nice sannyasi. Something I noticed in their math, even sannyasis would clean the stairs. It's like there's a, they say that there isn't any, you shouldn't see any service as being lower or higher. All service for Krishna is equal. And so therefore even the sannyasis do menial services like cleaning the stairs and like that. And I've seen it there when I was there. So Srimad Bhakti Vivek Bharati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. There's also Parvat Maharaj. I don't know anything about him. I wonder if Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharati Goswami Maharaj wrote anything. Let's see. Second. Nope. Okay. All right, so I will end here. Thanks for joining me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Jai Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandhar Vikagiri Dhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashwatara Shata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shila Gurudev Ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashwatara Shata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashwatara Shata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtarashata Shmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtarashata Shmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Pravishta Bhagavat Śrīla Gaura-pariṣada Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura ki jai. Nitya Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Raghunatha Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupa Nugogoriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Shar Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaura-pariṣada-caritāvali ki jai. Nama Chai Śrīla Haridas Ṭhākura ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय. सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदाता गिरिराज महाराज की जय. श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय. श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय. श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय. श्री भक्ति देवी की जय. श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जय. श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय. Oh, and also Srila Bhakti Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupad Srimad Bhakti Ballabha Tīrtha Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupad Rashata Shrimad Srila Bhakti Viśvanātha Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Okay, so what is it for Rup Manjari Didi? It's Rup Manjari Didi is, what is it? Sorry. Shri Pundarik Vidyanidhi ki jai. Shri Vishnupriya Devi ki jai. Shri Raghunath Das Goswami Par ki jai. Shri Raghunandana Ṭhākura ki jai. Tadiya Shubha Tirobhav Titi ki jai. Shri Viśvanātha Cakravartī Ṭhākura ki jai. Shri Bhakti Vivek Bharati Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Tadiya Shubha Tirobhav Titi ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsi Devaya Priyaya Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavataya Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyashcha Kripa Sindhubhyaya Vacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Oh, and Pradyumna Prabhu is asking that they do a reading on Advaita Acharya. Yes. Internet connection went out. Anyways, yes. I'm not sure if anybody can hear me right now, but yes, we will read about Advaita Acharya tomorrow. And then the day after tomorrow is Madhvacharya, and then Ramanujacharya is after that. But I also don't want to stop. So then we'll read, the day after tomorrow, we'll read about Krishna and Sudama. All right, everybody. Jai Shri Radhe, Hari Bol. Like, I think when Sudama visits Krishna, that's what we'll read about. Yeah, that's the day tomorrow. All right. See you all to read tomorrow for Advaita Acharya's glories. Hari Bol. Okay. All right, Hari Bol. And everybody else, Raj Bhuvan Yadav ji. Hari Bol.